This is Greenland, a distant, isolated, and frozen wilderness governed by Denmark. Despite being the largest island in the world, Greenland was ignored for decades. But not anymore. Lately, Greenland has become one of the most talked about regions in the world. Ever since Donald Trump was elected to a second term as President of the United States, he has repeatedly expressed his desire to acquire Greenland, either by buying it or, more controversially, by taking it by force. But until now, he had no success with it, as Greenlanders strongly opposed the idea, Denmark rejected it outright, and European leaders pushed back hard. But this time, the situation feels different. Trump appears increasingly obsessed with expanding American influence and getting whatever he believes is necessary for US dominance. He has openly stated that the United States needs Greenland for its national security. So, what makes this icy island so important? Greenland covers 849,420 square miles, and about 80% of it is buried under a massive ice sheet. The remaining land is mostly mountainous and rocky, with only 1% actually accessible. Its population is small, cities are scattered, and there are no roads connecting them. Most people travel across the island by planes. So here is the important question. Why would the US, and Trump in particular, want Greenland so badly? The answer lies in three key factors: geographic location, military strategy, and natural resources. Greenland's location is incredibly strategic. It sits between North America and Europe, close to some of the world's most important oceans and Arctic routes. In fact, the US already operates military bases in Greenland, and could establish more simply by negotiating with Denmark. It is important to note that Trump's interest in Greenland is not abrupt. It has been part of the US's strategy for a long time. In 1867, William H. Seward, the US Secretary of State who orchestrated the Alaska Purchase, proposed buying Greenland and Iceland from Denmark for $5.5 million in gold. However, the US Congress rejected the idea. During World War II, when Denmark was occupied by Nazi Germany, the United States feared that Germany could use Greenland to control the North Atlantic. The US quickly moved in, building military posts, weather stations, and radio facilities. When the war ended, the US did not want to give up such an important strategic location. In 1946, Washington offered Denmark $100 million in gold to purchase Greenland. Denmark refused, but allowed the US to maintain a military presence to counter a new threat: the Soviet Union. With the start of the Cold War, the US established major military bases in northern Greenland, deploying around 10,000 American personnel. These bases became critical radar stations, early warning systems, and launch sites for spy planes. However, after the Cold War ended, many of these facilities were abandoned in the 90s. Now, here is the real question. So why is Greenland suddenly back on the US radar? Because of global warming, ice is melting in the Arctic. Greenland is becoming more accessible, and what lies beneath the ice is incredibly valuable. Modern technology depends on critical minerals and rare earth elements, essential for defense systems, electric vehicles, batteries, and renewable energy. According to estimates, Greenland holds vast reserves of these resources. It's also believed that Greenland could contain up to 52 billion barrels of oil. To put that into perspective, the United States currently has about 47 billion barrels of proven oil reserves. Greenland alone could potentially double America's supply. But resources aren't the only prize. Melting ice is opening up new Arctic shipping routes, which are far shorter than traditional trade paths. These routes could drastically cut shipping time and fuel costs. And right in the middle of these emerging routes sits Greenland. Whoever controls Greenland could influence the future of global trade. But the United States is not the only player that wants to control the Arctic waters. Russia has been rapidly expanding its military presence across the Arctic. China, despite not being an Arctic nation, has also invested billions of dollars in infrastructure and mining projects in Greenland. This is why Trump sees Greenland as vital to US security. But here's the problem. Greenland is still part of Denmark, a NATO member, and Denmark has made it crystal clear. Greenland is not for sale. Despite this, the White House has stated that all options are on the table, including the use of force. In response, Major European powers, including France, Germany, and Norway, have pledged to support Denmark and defend Greenland. This growing rift risks damaging decades of cooperation between Europe and the United States. Under these circumstances, the future of NATO itself could be questioned. And perhaps the most important question of all remains: what do the people of Greenland want? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and support the channel.